And welcome to another edition of Snake Pit. I'm Dr. David J. Donald, 77 MD PBQ, sir. Don't forget, if you like the content you are hearing, to subscribe, to like, and to comment, and to share the channel. Tonight I'm joined by the phenomenal Katie Hopkins. You're known for being quite controversial, aren't you?
Maybe people's opinion about me. I've been the biggest bitch in Britain. I probably still am the biggest bitch in Britain. I came third last year in the poll about nastiest people on the planet. I came just behind Putin. I thought it was a bit extreme myself. I get called stuff on a daily basis, you know, horse face, big nose, four chins when I was at my fattest, which was pretty accurate as it goes. And I don't mind that at all. Like, in fact, I kind of rather welcome it because, you know, I've had my opinion and it's only right that people have theirs. I welcome the debate and the fact that people are getting involved. Now, they may not have the vocabulary, they may not have the literacy skills, they may not have the kind of linguistic dexterity to say stuff in a clever way or in a way that I might rather admire, that's witty, but at least they're getting involved. And I think one of the challenges our politicians face these days is getting people involved or animated in a debate. I don't see them doing a very good job of that. People do galvanise around the stuff I'm up to, and that's really why my fat story has been so brilliant for me, is that it's been a way of actually putting my money where my mouth is and getting people involved in the fat debate and either defending their position for being fat and happy, or getting involved and saying, no, you are right, we should eat less and move more. And I think if you can get people involved in a debate on any level, that's a great thing. As for Twitter trolls, I don't mind them. Look, you know, ultimately, if you're on Twitter, you have to be tough. And if you don't like it, you do have a single option, which is get off Twitter. You know, I don't buy into the Criado Perez way of doing this. I don't buy into the Stella Greasy Creasy way of doing this, which is just basically to moan and whinge a lot. I'm not a big fan of the feminazis, and I think it's time women showed that we are equal on our own measure. We don't need special treatment, and frankly, we are a bit tougher than that. So I think I like to stand for all of those things, and that some of our left-wing friends that read The Guardian need to really get a grip of themselves, stop moaning. And I think having a human cesspit where you just deposit everything you're cross about, which we call the Everyday Sexism Project, is really rather pointless. There's no point moaning about something and just sharing the fact that someone wolf whistled you in the street. Be grateful, for goodness sake. A 40-year-old woman like myself would probably rather like it. So the fact you're being leered at, wolf whistled, whatever, someone offered you their seat, oh, get over yourself.
So where do you stand on the free school meals movement for children?
Free school meals aren't actually free. They have to be funded by someone, and that isn't a golden goose in the sky. That's Brian down at the co-op who's on minimum wage and is having to pay his taxes to feed your kids. Free school meals are actually a 15 quid voucher from any supermarket. Now, if you have a mobile phone or fags or fillers, you don't need free school meals for your kids. What you need is to get your priorities right. You have got your priorities out of order. That's why so many shop workers at Asda say parents are coming in trying to use these vouchers to buy fags or alcohol. Second up, of course, if you've had one kid, that kid didn't arrive on Amazon Prime, did it? You didn't call Deliveroo. It didn't arrive overnight. You had some time to plan this. And like when you want to get a dog, you know you're going to have to feed that. So you did have a bit of time to think about this. And of course, if you couldn't feed one kid, why have you now got 3 of them? It's not like kids are collectibles like football cards, are they now? You know, in Tower Hamlets, 38% of kids are on free school meals. How long does it take the people of Tower Hamlets to learn they can't afford to feed their kids? Or is it simply that because someone else is paying for your home, for your welfare, for your food, for your bills, you can have whatever you like? And finally, of course, my big plea to everybody out there is to realise that Brian down the co-op didn't decide to have your children. You did. So why should he pay to feed your decisions? You know, before the welfare state came along, all of this stuff was sorted out by charity. I think the Marcus Rashford Charity for Hungry Kids sounds great. And Gary Lineker, with all that money he saved on British taxes, could chip in.
What do you think about the Black Lives Matter movement that is happening around the country at the moment?
3 questions for the Black Lives Matter protesters, a protest movement that's sweeping the globe. My questions are this. Number 1, why do Black Lives matter more when a white person is involved? Why is it that during the weekend prior to the death of George Floyd, 10 individuals were shot down, murdered in Chicago at the hands of other black individuals, but nothing was said? And yet when a white person was involved, there are protests all over the globe. There was a gentleman shot trying to protect a store from looters and rioters. He was shot dead where he stood, lay bleeding out on the sidewalk, and no one seemed to care. Why do Black Lives matter more when a white person is involved? My second question is, what is it you're actually asking for? What do you want and why do you want it? You can say Black Lives Matter, you can shout systemic racism, you can give me all the sort of repeated platitudes, but none of them are actually telling me what you want. If racism is so systemic, did it only start since Trump was in power? Is it only systemic for 4 or 5 years? Or does it happen in Obama's time? If so, where were you then? What is it you're asking for? If I asked 10 of you, I'd get 10 different answers. And finally, of course, many BAME individuals have been demanding the release of a report into coronavirus deaths. 4 times the amount of BAME individuals are impacted or have died because of coronavirus. So if you were part of that, demanding that report, #YouClapForMeNow, worrying about deaths of BAME individuals, how is it you're now out protesting in your thousands, stood next to each other, rioting, looting, without a mask, no social distancing? Either you did care before or you didn't. Either your Democrat mayors wanted you locked down for your safety, or actually now they're applauding you riot. Maybe there wasn't a problem in the first place. Why is it, if BAME deaths are higher, now, today, you don't care about that anymore? 3 simple questions, and I'm not expecting an answer to any of them anytime soon.
What do you think about the Football Federation, Premier League, of how they've angled the Black Lives Matter protests and movement?
The football organisation, the Premier League in the UK, have really cocked up on Black Lives Matter. For the last few games, they've had every player go down on bended knee. They've got the names off the back of the shirts and replaced them with Black Lives Matter. They've even had a snazzy Black Lives Matter logo drawn up. Their Sky pundits have been wearing the badges, and you can't really move for footballers and football pundits speaking out about Black Lives Matter. Except Black Lives Matter have just come out as a hard left organisation, I would say somewhere towards the terror end of the spectrum, near the IRA. They have said they want to destroy capitalism. Black Lives Matter want to defund the police. Black Lives Matter want to stop trade with Israel. So now, of course, the Premier League is in bed with this organisation. The Premier League have allied themselves with an organisation that want to destroy capitalism. Good luck with selling those 85 quid shirts to a little 12-year-old chap who wants to support his team now, if capitalism is such a bad thing. Good luck with getting police to support your matches if you want to defund the police. Good luck with allying football with anti-Semitism. Why on earth did you do that when your fans were telling you they wanted no part of this? Of course, when they're trying to put the genie back into the bottle now, they're saying, oh yes, well, we supported the moral cause. We didn't support the political movement. That's nuance right there, isn't it? Do you try explaining political nuance to fans in the stadium who are screaming, there's only one Troy Deeney? Nuance isn't going to cut it with those guys. I wonder, where were you all? You who didn't want to go on bended knee, you who didn't agree with wearing that badge. Why didn't you stand up to be counted when your bosses told you what to do? Not one of you had the moral courage or the fibre to say, I want no part of this. Fans tried to tell you and you didn't listen, you just called them racist. Well, you went down on bended knee with Black Lives Matter. You went down for all of it. Defunding police, getting rid of capitalism, trying to stop trade with Israel. You're part of all of that. You have politicised football, and I hope you pay the price. Have a great game.
And we'll leave it there. Thank you, Katie, for coming by and talking to us. We're going to end the show on with the phenomenal Kenny Wayne Shepherd. You've been listening to Snake Pit. Till next time. Ciao.
Night falls, I'm alone. Skin, yeah, chill me to the bone. You turned and you ran. Oh yeah, loaded slips right from my hand. Hey, blue on black, tears on the river, push on the shove, it don't mean much. Joker on jack, match on the fire, cold on ice, a dead man's touch. Whisper on the screen doesn't change a thing, don't bring you back. Blue on black. Oh, blue on black. Blind. Oh, but now I see. Truth, yeah, the lies and in between. And wrong can't be undone. Loaded slips from the tip of your tongue. Hey, blue on black, tears on the river, push on the shove, it don't mean much. Joker on jack, match on the fire, cold on ice, a dead man's touch. Whisper on the screen doesn't change a thing.